Greetings, divine radiance. You know what? That was perfect timing. When I tell you it is 5 o'clock, it is 5 o'clock on the dot. So I am just going to give you all an opportunity to come on in and join the party. So let's see. Hi, Alexa. How are you? Welcome, welcome, welcome. Thank you so much for joining. Let's see. Oh, wait. Okay. Hi, Pat. How are you? Welcome. Thank you for joining. Thank you so much for joining. Welcome, welcome, welcome. There are 3 people on with us today. So who's the third person on? Someone's joined us in silent. How is everyone feeling? Oh, I'm happy you're here too. Awesome, awesome. So how are you guys doing? You know, today is a major portal, the 555. So we are in such an amazing energy to be able to manifest, whether it's manifest healing, whether it's manifesting abundance, whether it's manifesting a deeper connection with spirit or opportunities and networking, whatever it is for you, you have amazing energy supporting whatever you're choosing. So if you don't have anything planned for today's portal, it would be a great opportunity to take advantage of this portal. I know I am. Oh, happy Wednesday, Pat, my beautiful sister. Thank you. I'm so glad you're feeling good. So glad. So you know what? I'm going to go ahead and have us start on our breathing. You know, it seems like everyone who's on right now have been here with us before. But for those of you that are joining for the first time, whether it's on the replay or you're the third person that's watching in silent, we do this every first Wednesday of the month at 5 p.m. Eastern time. Wednesday Live and Power Hour. We go live every first Wednesday, 5 p.m. Eastern time. So join us. And what we do to start our Empower Hour is we breathe. So we're going to inhale slow and deep as possible, love and light. And then we're going to exhale out through our mouth as slowly as possible, all this no longer serving us. If there's something specific that you're choosing to release, then go ahead and focus on that as you're exhaling, okay? And while you're inhaling and exhaling and taking in all this divine healing energy, I'll be sending Reiki to your heart and your solar plexus, but the energy is very intelligent. So if there's something going on in your body or in your energy, it will travel to wherever it serves your highest good to go, okay? So let's go ahead and get started. Go ahead, unless you're driving, close your eyes. If you're not driving, go ahead and close your eyes and just allow yourself to relax. Take a deep breath, inhaling that love and light. And then go ahead and exhale out through your mouth. And as you exhale, releasing all that no longer serves you, allow your shoulders to drop. When you do that, you can really see how much tension you were carrying, how tense you were holding your shoulders. So just allow your body to relax. And just go ahead and continue to breathe in love, light, and healing, and then exhale all that doesn't serve you. And as you continue to breathe, I call on highest light guides, angels, ancestors, healers, teachers, wise ones, ascended masters, and helpful companions, all of highest light and love. I call on you now, and I thank you for filling this space. I thank you for using me as a vessel to deliver a message that is rooted in highest light, love, and truth. And I thank you for opening the minds, the hearts, and the souls of those I'm called to serve today so that they may receive all that serves their highest good to receive. I thank you, and so it is. So just go ahead and continue with your breath. And as you're breathing, I'd like you to bring your attention to your crown chakra located at the top of your head. And I'd like you to go ahead and open your crown chakra, give your crown chakra permission to open. And just feel that divine, loving light energy pouring in through your crown. Feel it traveling down to your third eye, extending out to your temples, and feel it as it travels down to your throat chakra, down to your heart, down to your solar plexus. Feel that energy traveling down to your sacral and your root, feeling more grounded and at peace as that energy travels down your thighs, down into your knees, down into your legs and your ankles and your feet. And you may notice a tingling sensation at your feet. That's okay. Just go ahead and give your feet permission to allow roots to grow from your soles. And just allow those roots to penetrate whatever surface your feet are resting on. Feeling those roots penetrating the earth. And just feel those roots as they go all the way to the center of the earth. Taking a moment to give Mother Earth gratitude, to send her healing, love, and light. And just allow yourself to connect to the heartbeat of Mother Earth. Taking some more deep breaths in and exhaling, releasing all that doesn't serve you. Bringing Mother Earth's loving energy up through those roots, up through your soles of your feet, up through your ankles, your calves and your knees, feeling it in your thighs, in your root, your sacral, your solar plexus. Feel Mother Earth's energy traveling up to your heart chakra, up to your throat chakra, all the way up to your ear chakras located at your temples, up to your third eye, and up and out your crown. And just allow Mother Earth's energy to connect to your highest source of power, intertwining those two energies, allowing them to create a sacred dance, and then bring that energy back down through your crown, giving it permission to spread throughout your entire cellular being, and setting the intention that you will continue to breathe in healing, love, and light with every inhale, and you'll continue to release all that's no longer serving you with every exhale. Setting that intention for the rest of your day, and so it is. So go ahead and let me know how you're feeling. How are you feeling after doing that exercise? It always makes me feel a little bit, I wouldn't say sleepy, but a little bit slow. So how are you feeling? Awesome. Okay, awesome. And if you feel led to walk yourself through that grounding exercise again, Pat, when you get home, by all means do so. Oh, I'm doing really good, Alexa. Thank you so much for asking. Thank you. Okay, so let's see what message Spirit has in store for us. And Pat, this is the deck that you sent me. So you know what? Relax. Alexa feels relaxed. Take both. Okay. Spirit just said take both, but keep them together. So we'll see what that's about. This is the deck that you sent, Pat. Spirit said grab that one today. It's the Cosmic Dance. And one more from the bottom or top. Okay, I was told the top and the bottom. That's not one more, right? Okay. So let's see. We're going to start here. Didn't we get this last month too, you guys? Be fluid. Be fluid. And it's the number 10. So why are we getting be fluid again? Because what I'm literally hearing is because some of you as a collective are no longer in flow or haven't began to flow. You're either holding on to pain. They even said hurt as if it's two different things. Okay. So pain, they're referring to physical pain. Hurt, they're referring to emotional pain. You're either holding on to pain or hurt, or you're holding on to the past, or you're holding on to and living in fear. What you're being called to do now is to take self-inventory and ask the divine, ask your spirit team, why is it that this card came up and how does it apply to your life? You have an energy within you that is fearless. You have enough courage to share with the nation, but it's time for you to remember your divinity and allow yourself to tap into those places that you've forgotten exist, that you've forgotten how to be. Don't allow the collective to influence your opinion Okay, what I'm hearing is your opinion of self or the version of you that shows up in the world. It's time for you to be your true divine self and to allow your heart to soar, to set your brain free. And what that means is to stop thinking, overthinking, to flow into being guided. These are all messages that you've heard before, but it's time to implement them on a much deeper level. You're now being called to stand up. You're being called to serve, and you're being called to share that infinite wisdom that lies deep within you that's now at the surface, ready to come to the top. And for those of you that have connected to your divinity, it's time for you to be all in with the capacity that you serve. I'm hearing no more pussyfooting. We know what that means, but where does that even come from? No more procrastinating, no more stalling, no more waiting. The only way to get through the fears is to leap. Take that leap of faith. Just do what your soul is guiding you and prompting you to do. Failure is not an option because failure does not exist. You're going to learn many things on your journey, and not all of them are going to feel good. But just remember that everything is serving your highest good in this lifetime and the next. You're also healing generations that are connected to your lineage and beyond. So allow yourself to be set free by being in flow. Okay, and so it is. So that is the message for the flow card. Let me see how you're doing with that. Talk to me. How does that flow card apply to you? How does that apply to you? What part of that message resonated with you? I'm also being told to tell you to eat more greens, and I'm being told to tell you to get out in nature more often in a way that's different from your normal way of getting out in nature. You're being called to explore the great outdoors. Like explore, oftentimes we'll exercise outside, or, for me, I'm always at the lake, you know what I mean? And so when I was at the lake, was it yesterday? I believe it was yesterday. My days, they run into each other. But I was at the lake and I just had this strong urge to lay on the grass, no blanket, just lay on the grass. And then I felt like putting my forehead to the grass, which is what we do before we enter Sweat Lodge. And that feeling not only prompted me to know that watching the water, being in the water, at the water isn't enough, but I'm being called to ground more. And it's time for me to attend another Sweat Lodge, right? There's something about tree energy that's coming through very strong for us as a collective. The plant life, the trees, they have messages for us. So I don't know how many of you are tree huggers, but hug a tree and just hug the tree and send those loving vibrations and healing energy to the tree and just be open to receive, right? And whatever you receive, whether it's through hearing, whether you're seeing visions, close your eyes as you're holding the tree, or whether you're feeling something. Don't second guess it. Don't overthink it. Just go with it. Just go with it. Okay, so what I'm being told is by eating more greens, it allows you to connect more with the plant life. And the plant life has some messages for us pertaining to Mother Earth and what we can do individually to help preserve her radiance. Okay, let's see what you all are saying. Someone else joined. Welcome. Thank you for being here. So let's see. Pat said, awesome. I love that deck. I may have to order it for myself. Yes, I love it too. Thank you for sending it. Pat said, all of it resonated with me. Awesome. Alexa said, wow, stop procrastinating. Speak my truth. All of it resonates with me. I'm so grateful. Pat said, especially the part about stop overthinking. I'm really starting to believe that overthinking is a trait of an empath, of a light worker, a light warrior. And as I'm saying that, I'm connecting to spirit for spirit to explain to me why we start off overthinking. And what I'm receiving is it's because the way that we exist in this realm is so foreign to how we've existed in previous realms or in spirit realm, even previous lifetimes, right? as time goes on, according to how we perceive time, things change, right? So when we think in terms, let's think medieval time, or time when people would, go to the wells for water and didn't have electricity, right? It was a much simpler time, right? So in those times, we were more aligned, more guided, and more in flow. Like, I just recently realized that Harriet Tubman was psychic, which is how she was able to lead this movement without getting caught, right? Never thought of that before until seeing the movie. And then I confirmed with Spirit. Spirit was like, that's exactly what it was. She was being guided. So also, what it stems from is that striving for perfection. Because the moment that we're born, right? The moment that we're born, we're being programmed into believing that perfection is something that we must obtain, as opposed to being able to hold on to the knowledge that we are already perfect, whole, and complete, right? So as we're living life, we're racking our brain, we do something. How many of you do something and you're thinking about all the other ways you could have done it? Or was that just me? Like, that was me 24/7 before I healed. If I did something, if I said something, it was always, well, maybe I should have said this, or maybe I should have done that, right? Living in that woulda, coulda, shoulda, as opposed to just saying, whatever I said or did, it was perfect, right? It was perfect. I'm either going to learn from it, or I'm going to be blessed immediately from it, right? So it's definitely a trait that we carry. It also stems from caring, right? And sometimes, I know it may sound strange for me to say, sometimes we care too much before we heal. But the truth of the matter is, we care too much about what people think. We care too much about how we appear to outside forces, right? We care too much about material things, right? But when we go through that process of releasing all of that, we're able to care just right on the things that matter. And those things that don't, we just simply don't care about it, right? So yeah, we replace overthinking with peace, and it's such a beautiful thing. Let's see what you all are saying. Pat said, awesome. I've been feeling the urge to lie in the grass. Do it, do it, do it, right? This is why it's coming through, like, for us to go in nature and for us to connect with the trees, right? Grass, trees, it's all that green, that greenery. There's something there. And as I'm saying that, Spirit is saying it's also going to be very healing for our heart chakra. So when I take my sacred baths, I do two things. And the reason why, well, I don't just do two things, but these two things specific for my chakras. And as I'm saying this, Spirit is saying for us to do this on the earth. So I spend a lot of time allowing the back of my chakras to be served in that sacred water, right? And I am releasing and clearing the past that no longer serves me. So what I always do is turn over on my stomach. I put my whole face in the water. So all my chakras on the front are also being cleansed, reset, and served, right? So what that allows me to do is reset my energy. It allows me to release in the now what's not serving me. And it allows me to prepare myself to go out there and do and be all that I'm choosing to do and be, right? It just makes for that full on front to back, past, present, and future healing and clearing. So we're being called, for those of you that are feeling a pull to go and lie in the grass, right? Or even if you are more comfortable with the tree, we're being called to do the front end and the back end, right? And setting that intention that we're going to heal those aspects, the past, the present, and the future. And again, don't overthink. So, hi, Shanessa. Welcome, welcome. Grand Rising, welcome. Hey, Alatha, welcome. Pat said, yes, it's all heart chakra work. Absolutely, absolutely. So these are the two cards that we got together. And look, there's 7 people on, and there's 3 of you that have liked the video. So again, 10, right? We're back into that number 10, the endings of cycles, moving into new ones. Spirit has been giving us the number 10 and having me point it out so much since we've been doing Empower Hour. And what I'm receiving is the reason why it's coming through is because as we're elevating and as we're shifting, especially right now, we're in an energy where we're being called to release things, release people, release habits, release thought patterns, right? And sometimes, especially when we're called to release people, it's not always the easiest thing to do. But what I'm being called to tell you is release whatever your soul is prompting you to release. Release it with gratitude, release it with joy, release it with optimism. Because one of the things that we're doing when we're holding on as it relates to another person is we're not only hindering ourselves, we're also hindering them, right? We're hindering them as well because their soul has its journey, right? And so when we're feeling the prompting, maybe we're more aware spiritually than they are. Maybe we're more in tune with our intuition and our psychic gifts. So maybe they aren't feeling the release, right? Because they're just not in tune. Maybe they're in the habit of holding on to things, even if it doesn't feel good, because that's how they were programmed to be and they've yet to heal. So Spirit is saying when you feel that prompting, it's your responsibility to do what I'm hearing what's right for you, what's best for you, what serves your highest good, with the knowing that they too will be blessed, right? They too will be blessed. And that brings me to share when I was married to my first husband, and I knew that the relationship was totally over, right? I knew for a long time, but when I got to that point where it's like, okay, it's time to go, I took comfort in knowing if I'm not happy, he's not truly happy, right? Because we're not aligned, right? And I'm not giving my all at this point. So it'll serve him too, right? And it felt good to know that I was serving the both of us and I wasn't just leaving him in this state of misery. It may have felt like that to him at first, but now he has a wife that he loves, that loves him, that's more aligned with his energy, right? So yeah, let's see what you all are saying. Pat said, yes, it's all about chakra, heart chakra work. Hey, Cheryl, how are you? I know we missed you last month, Alatha. Let's see. Pat says, sis, I'm feeling like releasing my whole family. Well, you know what? I know you're joking, but listen, if that's how you're feeling, I know you're joking and you're serious at the same time, but if that's how you're feeling, do it. It doesn't even have to be a permanent release, right? Sometimes we're called to walk away and release things until we get ourselves to a point of being strong enough to say no when our soul says no, right? When we are strong enough to have what serves our highest good as our top priority, right? Because sometimes we all have a weakness, that one thing or a couple of things that pulls at our heartstring that'll have us forgetting all of our healing, right? And if we're constantly in the midst of that, it sometimes makes it difficult to build that strength. So if you're feeling that way, do it. And then Spirit will guide you on who is the permanent release and who is just the temporary, right? So we have practice daily, sparkle and shine. So this is what Spirit said to hold together. Practice daily, sparkle and shine. You know what's so funny? I designed a t-shirt that says I sparkle and shine because I am divine. So that's pretty awesome. And as that is coming through, that number 8 is letting us know how divine we are, right? How infinite we are. But here's the thing, because we got this last month too, because I remember pointing out the t-shirt design that says I may bend, but I don't break. And this is the picture on it, right? Look at Spirit, everything's aligned. But practice daily. The reason why it's so important for us to practice daily, the things that we have been guided by Spirit to incorporate in our lives that keeps us in that state of peace, keeps us in that state of balance, keeps us in that state of joy, is because of the fact that our human selves have, again, been programmed to live and operate a certain way. So we've got lifetimes after lifetimes of programming, right? So once we heal and we release these things, oftentimes I find that people will go on their healing journey, they'll begin it, they'll start feeling amazing, right? Things are shifting, they're manifesting like a mofo, and then they decide, I'm good. I don't have to do this daily. I did it in the beginning too. I'm like, oh, I'm good, right? I'm good. I don't have to do this daily. And Spirit's like, no, you do, right? Yeah, it serves your highest good to do it daily. So one of the things that we're being called to practice daily, in addition to our meditation, like I'm just going to give you the basics, right? Our meditation, our eating healthy, our drinking enough water, our prayer, right? Our connecting to Spirit, and not in the way of meditation, but by the way of allowing ourselves to surrender and be guided, right? And our protection. right? These are the things we're being called to do daily. And although it may sound like a long list, it's really not. It doesn't take a long time. You can add more time if you're led, but it can also be a quick process too. We're also being called to practice daily, reminding ourselves of our divinity and acting as though we believe with all of our heart, all of our soul, and all of our mind, because that's the part of us that doesn't always believe how divine we are, right? We are to believe that, remind ourselves until we believe with those things that we are divine, we are deserving, we are worthy, we are capable of any and everything our heart desires. We are capable of creating it, attracting it, allowing it, right? We are capable of healing. We are worthy of healing, right? We are worthy and deserving of letting go of our story, right? That story that we hold on to, that we believe now before we heal that that's a part of us. It's who we are, right? Our lessons, we're not to carry our lessons in a backpack on our shoulders, right? On our back. We're not to carry that with us every day, right? We're called to take that backpack off, look inside. I remember that. What did I learn from it? Okay, I'm grateful. Thank you. Now I release you, right? I release you. And we toss it, right? Now we have the lessons, the blessings, but not the weight, right? And then as we release that, what we replace it with, right? Well, I'm hearing our wings, but what Spirit is saying is that comes after. What we replace it with is the things that serve us. We replace it with peace. We replace it with balance. We replace it with the courage to stand up for ourselves and say no. We replace it with releasing judgment of self and others, self-love and self-acceptance, right? Compassion for the collective, right? And then when we put it on, we realize, this is actually weightless. I don't feel anything. And then that backpack is replaced with those wings, right? Now, also with that sparkle and shine, what Spirit is reminding us of is that when we embrace our divinity and we allow ourselves to live in that existence, we begin to glow. We begin to sparkle. We began to shine, right? I remember when my mom made a comment about me having a glow, right? And I didn't see it. I did not see it. She's like, "Oh, since you've been on this journey, you're just glowing different. It's different than your usual skin." And I'm like, okay, look the same to me. But then when my mom began hers, I saw it, right? I could see it. I'm like, oh, that's what you were talking about, right? That's what you were talking about. So we began to glow different. We began to shine different, right? And it really truly comes from letting go of all those heavy things that no longer serve us and allowing ourselves to step into and live in our divinity, right? Our divinity. So what I'm receiving here, there's a little bit of heart in there, but there's so much solar plexus. There's so much sacral. And what Spirit is saying is focus on replenishing these chakras, right? And that word replenishing is coming through. Normally we get healing, right? Healing. But what I'm being told is right now, for some of us, those chakras, those lower chakras have been depleted. Right? It's been depleted, whether it's depleted because you're giving more of yourself than your soul would like to allow, or whether it's depleted because you aren't protecting yourself energetically and you're taking on too much of the collective's energy or energy that doesn't belong to you, right? And collective includes the whole collective, family, friends, those that we don't know, but we just feel the energy of the world, right? So it's time for us to protect and release, clear your energy, release the energy of those that no longer serve you. And those that no longer serve you, Spirit is referring to the collective or people you encounter day to day, right? People you encounter day to day. So I remember sharing a Tuesday tips and tools message, right? About another way that we can release the weight of the world before we enter into our home is stumping, right? Just stump. Imagine having a bunch of mud on your shoes. You got on work boots, you got a bunch of mud on your work boots, and before you walk in your house, you're gonna get that mud off. How would you stump? I'd like you to do that. Stump just as hard before you enter your home, setting the intention that I am releasing and letting go of all the energy, right, out here that does not serve me. right? And I replace it with peace. I replace it with calm. I replace it with love and acceptance, right? So yeah, let's see what you all are saying. Pat said, no, I'm serious. Too much drama. Well, yeah, release it. Release. Here's the thing. You don't owe anyone anything, including your family. And sometimes we're raised to believe that family, that's your family. Family is to stick together, right? And I do believe in sticking together, but only if it contributes or at least doesn't disrupt your peace, right? If it doesn't contribute to your peace or it disrupts your peace, right? Everybody can get it, right? Family or not, because in reality, family is not just blood. And we've all heard this. Family is those that we're connected to on a soul level, right? Those we're connected to on a soul level. So when Spirit tells us to only accept what serves our highest good, only accept what increases our peace, right? Only accept love and compassion and grace. That's inclusive of family. If they're not bringing that to the table, it's either time for them to be escorted out of your dining room or for you to leave out of theirs, right? So let's see. Shanessa says, stay focused and disciplined. Yes, yes, yes. Hey, Mom. I see. I'm like, I know you're on because I see where Pat spoke to you. Pat said, we deserve the best of life and health. Yes, we definitely do. We do. And I shared this over in the Activating You mentorship group, and I'm going to share it now because when you said we deserve the best of life and health, I'm being prompted to share that same thing I shared with you guys the other day. But so as we elevate, right, as we elevate, our energy, our frequency rises, as we heal and release, and we just become lighter within our souls and our spirits, our body will begin rejecting things, just like I'm hearing our mind, our mental, our emotional self, our physical self, right? Our energetic self will begin to reject things. And I used to always joke and share the story how when I used to go out to the club back in my clubbing days, I could drink 8 Long Island iced teas and be good, right? And then one day I just couldn't do that no more. But now I am such a lightweight. When I tell you I could take 3 sips of wine, depending on how long it's been since I drank, I can feel that I just drank after 1 sip. Don't judge me, right? But I'm just thinking it's my age, right? Things change, which doesn't make sense now that I'm thinking about it, because there's so many people that are my age and older that can drink like a fish, right? But what ends up happening is the more we elevate energetically, our body begins to reject the things that don't serve us, right? And in reality, alcohol, right? Alcohol, when we drink a lot, right? Alcohol, we are no longer in our divine state of being, right? When people get drunk and they have blackouts, or you may notice that people become promiscuous or really mean, like they go from night and day, right? It's because our soul has taken a vacation, and it's now our bodies are being inhabited by a soul that's not necessarily of light and love, right? So what's now happening, not only have I spoken to Spirit on several occasions and saying, I am so grateful for your assistance with me being the best version of me, but also because internally everything is so clean that my body rejects what does not serve me, right? Same thing with me sharing with you all how when I became vegan, it was not a struggle. Right? I have been saying, one day I believe I'm going to give up meat. I think I'm going to give up meat. I'm going to give up meat one day. And then when I did, it was just like, I don't have a desire for it anymore. So Spirit took that away. So I'm being told to share this with you because it's important for us to know. Some of us that are either standing at the window shopping on whether or not we going to invest in that spiritual healing, that healing, right? Or some of us have walked in and we put on this healing coat and it looks good, it fits good, it feels good, but we don't know if we're going to get the shoes and the bag to match because of what we may be or what we may lose as a result of it, or what will be required of us, right? But what Spirit would like you to know and remember is that this healing journey is not like what we've been taught. You know, a lot of times religions will say, come as you are, but in reality, you're being judged by everybody under the sun, under the building, right? And so what Spirit would like you to remember is that when you embark on this healing journey, the only thing that's happening is that you are releasing all of who you are not, right? All of who you are not. And that feels so amazing. You don't have to give up anything. You don't have to be anything. All you're called to do is truly come and be who you are, right? So I'm now speaking to your unconscious mind. So allow your unconscious mind to be activated and allow your unconscious mind to receive this message. Allow it to be penetrated in your unconscious soul, that whatever is hidden in your unconscious that is preventing you from either starting your healing journey or elevating in your healing journey, you can release those fears now. Right? You can release those fears now, and you can allow yourself to be guided by your soul, to be guided by your higher self, to be guided by your highest source of power, right? Because now is the time to remember and embrace who you truly are. There is nothing that I used to do before my spiritual journey that I miss, right? At one point, I chose to stop drinking altogether, right? I had already gotten to the point where all I drank was wine. I didn't drink liquor anymore, but I chose to stop. And then one day, right after a while of not, I just started craving Moscato, like just a glass. And Spirit literally said, everything in moderation, right? You weren't guided to stop drinking. You chose to stop drinking. Nobody told you you had to, right? Right? And that's the life of a spiritual being. There's no, you have to do this in order to be this. None of that, right? None of that. So where were you going with this? So Spirit said, allow yourself to just be you. That is the point. Allow yourself to just be you. Release those fears that keep you stuck where you are, right? Release those fears. And also what's coming through again is people. You know, oftentimes we feel like, or we fear that as we elevate, we're going to leave those that we love behind. Sometimes that may be the case, right? But just know whatever is released from your life, it will be replaced in a way where you don't even feel that release in a painful way, right? And also what I'm being told to tell you is, again, through that release, you're allowing their soul to go explore the journey that they agreed to, right? So let's see what you all are saying. Okay, so you know what? I am sitting here and I'm looking at Black Obsidian, and I know who you are, but I cannot remember your actual name. And I know it's someone that I know on a deep level. Remind me. Because you guys know I do my best to remember your screen name, you know, who you are actually. I do my best to remember, and I cannot think of it. So remind me. And welcome. Thank you for being here. Hey, Naya, how are you? Let's see. I missed something. Focus and discipline. Pat said, writing a letter to my younger self helped me release some things. I'm so grateful. I'm excited to have you all go live and share your second part of that assignment. I'm really excited. And there's a third part too. But you know, I'll give it when I get back after you guys finish the second part. Shanessa said journaling is good for your thoughts. It is. It truly is. And you know what? With us staying in that energy of acknowledging that some of us are still in that energy of overthinking, if you're in that energy of overthinking, start to pay attention to what those thoughts are and just bring out your journal, right? And write it down. Bring out your journal and write it down. And then connect to your divine spirit team and look at everything you wrote down, right? And I'd like you to ask your divine spirit team to guide you into knowing where is the overthinking for this particular thing, one by one. Where's it coming from? What is it rooting in? rooted in, right? And how, once you get that, how can I release the overthinking? Guide me, right? And then just take some slow, deep breaths, put the pen down, place the journal on your lap, open your palms, face up, palms up, because when your palms are up and open, what you're doing is every aspect of you is sending the frequency, I am open to receive, right? I am open to receive. And then just breathe and just wait, right? Just wait. You may get it right in that sitting and you may not. And if you don't get it right then, that's okay too. Just set the intention that I am open to receive the answers to this question or these questions that I just asked. And then when they come, right? When they come, because they will come in divine time. And when you're ready, remember the story about me being guided on what my purpose was? It didn't come the first couple times I asked, right? It came when I was meditating, wasn't even focused on anything, right? I wasn't in that interactive meditation, right? It was just that total silence and still meditation, and it came, right? So yeah. I'm hearing all the answer to your prayers, and your questions will be answered in divine timing. Allow it. What's also coming through is don't allow your impatience or your overthinking to block your blessings or your bliss. We've had this talk before. Oftentimes, we're in that backseat of that car. Are we there yet? Looking at the clock, right? Waiting for Spirit to hurry up. And Spirit is like, well, that's one of the reasons why it's not here, because you have yet to master, right? Divine timing. Let it go. Release it. Allow it to flow to you. Vibration and frequency is coming through. Vibration and frequency, because just like water, we use water as our example of flow, right? Because it's the thing that we can see. But now what Spirit is telling us to begin using as our example of flow, in addition to water, is vibration and frequency. When we look at that, what does it look like? Also, look at her halo, vibration and frequency. And if we notice, look at what she's pouring. It looks a lot like water, but yet it's glowing, right? It's glowing. So it's a leveled up form of water. Okay, so then our next card. Hey, Camilla, how are you? Welcome. My mom said, I agree with Pat. Writing the letter to my younger self helped my growth. I am so grateful. Nicoya, you know what? I was like, is this Nicoya? That's who I thought it was. But you know why? You have another one, don't you? Or am I tripping? I thought you had another one that was aligned with your Koya's crystals. And if you guys haven't followed Koya's crystals on Instagram, please do. Okay. When I tell you her crystals, see, Nicoya does a live crystal show every weekend, right? And the reason why I don't attend every weekend is because if I did, I'd be buying something every weekend. But I know when I'm ready to buy some more crystals, that show, that Herkimer Diamond, and I can't remember that name of that first one, but both of those, oh my goodness, they were kind of calling me. So I don't know if they're still available. I might have to talk to you about it. Okay, so we have now be present. Be present. And look, again, energy is flowing. Frequency is flowing, right? It's flowing. Be present. This came through also recently for us. Be present. So here's the thing. If we're in the past, we're not present. If we're in the future, we're not present. Spirit has told us time and time again that there is a fine line between being present and manifesting. Right? I know there was a period of time where I was so engrossed in manifesting my future that I wasn't appreciating the now, right? And you remember how Alicia Keys, why did Kid come through? Let me know later if it was relevant. You remember when Alicia Keys would say the presence is a gift in her song, right? I was so focused on the future and creating that, right, in an abundant way and in a dream life way, that I was agitated in the now. I was anxious in the now, right? And I was so great and powerful at manifesting, right, that I could feel it, I could see it, I could smell it, I could taste it, right? But what was taken away from my greatness of being able to manifest was that I was taking the present for granted, right? I was so ready for that next phase that I wasn't grateful for the now. And Spirit let me know, listen, if you're going to get all of that, and you're not just spinning your wheels. You got to be grateful. You got to be present, right? You got to enjoy the now, right? So if you're manifesting more money, right, what would you do with that money? What would you do with it, right? Well, what's your version of that now based on the money that you have, right? Do it, right? If you see yourself in this elevated state spiritually, right? And it's so amazing, you're so connected and things are just flowing. Well, how much have you elevated now, right? Allow what happens in your future to happen now, right? So Spirit is just reminding us there's really not much to say about being present, but some of the ways that you can bring yourself to the now, be more present, is just sit in silence, right? Go outside even, right? Because it's more stimulation out there. And just close your eyes. Listen to the sounds, feel the wind, or if it's no wind, feel the sun, right? Listen to the birds, listen to the tires hitting the pavement, the street, Listen to all the sounds around you and then breathe. Notice how that cool air goes in your nose. I can even feel it in the back of my throat, right? And then what does it feel like when you exhale? How does that feel in your system? How does it feel when your shoulders relax and drop, right? How does that feel? And then start to pay attention to your body. Like, what does it feel like at the top of your head, right? What does it feel like in this area? And just go down your entire body and feel and be present in the now, right? And then show gratitude. Show gratitude. So that's one easy way to be present in the now. Oh, you are so welcome. You are so welcome. I'm always about supporting those of you that are existing in that highest light and love. And also, if you have great product and merchandise, we all deserve to know about it. So thank you for presenting it to us. Oh, you don't? Huh. I don't know why. I was literally, when I was like, is that Nakoya? I was like, no, she has. Oh, I know why. Nakoya, you know why too. You've gotten the message about starting your YouTube. So that's why. That's why I was seeing a YouTube name, and I believed that it was a name that I had actually seen before on here, and it was aligned with Koya's crystals. So, there you have it. You've gotten that message. It's come through in session. So we have be authentic, and look at that number 25, which is 7. So be authentic. So here's the reason why we're being told to focus on the number 7 as well. It's because when we are authentic to who we really are, that is when we are most connected to our inner divinity, right? When we're putting on a show, when we're, doing it for the gram, right? Or the Vine. Remember, do it for the Vine, but the gram, because Vine ain't around no more. But when we're doing it for those reasons, it's not aligned with our divinity, right? That creates pressure. That creates stress. That creates worry. That creates overthinking. Why? Because we're in a battle with our soul. Like your soul is like, sis, you don't feel like getting dressed today, so wear your robe, right? Y'all know I've showed up on live. I've showed up in sessions in my robe. Why? Because what I'm wearing is not important. What I'm here to help you remember, because I'm not teaching you anything. Your soul has all the answers. The thing is, sometimes we consciously forget, right? We consciously forget what we already know. So I'm not your teacher, right? I'm not your healer. I'm none of that. I'm just your breadcrumb. I'm reminding you of what you already know, right? So what Spirit is telling us is to stop battling with your soul. Stop battling with your soul and allow yourself, right, to shine in all of your divinity. Allow yourself to shine in all of your divinity. So practice no when it's a no, and practice yes when it's a yes. Go against the status quo. Go against what you were taught to do or be if it doesn't feel good on a soul level. And they said, that's all I got to say about that. But it was a better Forrest Gump. It was a better Forrest Gump impersonation when I heard it. I just, yeah. Talk to me because I feel it. I feel it. But go ahead and talk to me. Let me know. Okay. So what I'm being told to tell you is to focus on this picture. And the first thing that stands out to you, put it in the comments. My mom said it feels peaceful. You already know. She already on it. So put it in the comments and tell me how it relates to your current state. What is the message that the first thing that stood out to you is telling you? Go ahead and put it in the comments and let me know. So let's just point out a few things, right? So look at the way it looks like her hair on second glance, but to me, first glance, this area right here, it looks more like thought, right? It looks like thought as she's seeing it, visualizing it, or as they are seeing it, visualizing it. It's coming out from thought form and it's coming out into the physical form, and it's creating a road and a pathway, right? So what Spirit is saying is, cliche, but your thoughts create reality, right? It creates your reality. Your thoughts create your path, right? Now, behind her, there's a rose. And the message that's coming through about that flower behind her, the color is pink, which represents love. And I'm hearing self-love. It starts with self-love, right? It also represents divine love. Those flowers above that represents peace, right? And then look at how the flowers, the birds, look at how the birds, that represents peace. And look at how they kind of just swirl all around. So not only is this person engulfed in peace, but that peace energy is also in the collective, right? It's also in the collective. Now that flower also represents the layers, the petals are the layers that we peel back in order to get to that place of self-love, self-acceptance, and compassion, right? And as we do that, notice the connection there and here. As we have that self-love, that self-acceptance, and compassion for self, we're able to visualize a life in a world that also has that. So it's coming from the back, self-love, acceptance, compassion, and it's coming out and it's creating a pathway, right? So this pathway isn't just for this individual to walk on. This pathway is available for anyone that is choosing this path, right? So that leads us to, as we heal, as we elevate, we're then called to create an opening, a path, right? An opportunity for others to begin healing themselves. And we do so by living by example. Now, also, when we look at this picture there, this looks like a total state of meditation. It looks like a total state of peace, right? Total state of peace. And then look at that crystal ball. So notice the eyes are closed. The eyes are closed, but that hand is connected to that ball. That ball represents spirit, right? Our eyes being closed represents us releasing the overthinking, right? Now, as we are holding on to that ball of light, our connection to spirit, right? If you think in terms of when a parent holds a child's hand, I like to do this with my mom where I'll close my eyes. I'll be like, Mom, guide me, you know? We'll be out and about. I'll be like, I'm going to close my eyes, guide me. It's also a trust exercise, but I'm getting off the point. So when we allow ourselves to be guided by spirit, spirit is holding our hands and spirit is leading us into experiences that not only serve our highest good, but that feel good, right? That feels good. And then notice the sky, right? What that sky reminds me of is abstract art. So what I'm receiving for that is when you think in terms of abstract art, right? I mean, truly abstract, not the kind where you know that's a face, but it's made a little bit different. I mean, where you've got to use your imagination to see a picture within the picture. So if I were to look at a piece of art like that and you were to look at a piece of art like that, we may see two different things. But it doesn't mean that what I see is right and what you see is wrong, or vice versa. It just means that we're seeing it from a different perspective. So Spirit is telling us this is how we are to address and deal with other individuals, is to remember this existence is one big piece of abstract art. And we get to determine what we see, right? We get to determine what we see. And there's just so much peace coming from this. Again, they're pointing out the peace and the magic. They just said, don't forget the magic. Don't forget the magic. And look at that smile. Look at that smile. So much peace. So Okay, thank you. As I'm saying, Spirit is saying, don't forget the magic, right? The other day, I was thinking, and I asked Spirit, I said, why is it that as a collective, we're not utilizing magic more to create a shift in the world, right? So I thought about some of the things that are happening in the world, one of them being police brutality, and I decided to just send some magic out there to those officers that are treating groups of people like they aren't humans. And I don't believe in harming others, right? Like I don't believe in doing that, right? But what I do believe in is binding energies that are not serving the collective, the collective's highest good, right? And the reason why I'm pausing is because Spirit is telling me how to word this, right? I also believe in protecting those that aren't protecting themselves, right? Energetically, magically, right? So what we're being called to do is those things that bother us in the world, instead of getting angry, we're being called to start sending some magic to those things, right? Instead of getting, sad, we're being called to send some magic to those things. Now, when I say that, and this came through last month as well, it doesn't mean don't feel your feelings because we are human after all. So, yeah. It may make us sad. It may make us angry. Feel those feelings, but then release it. Call on your divine spirit team of highest light and love and ask to be guided on what to say or what to do, right? In regards to sending that magic, because all magic ain't good magic. And when I say that, what I'm saying is all magic that's practiced can come with a price tag that we're not willing to pay, right? So it's important to be guided by your spirit team of highest light and love so that you make sure that you're not racking up a bill that you're not able to pay, right? So it's always good, like everything else in life, to check in first. There was a time where I was being psychically, spiritually, and energetically attacked. And this was someone that I had looked up to. Like I invested so much money in readings from this person. And I looked up to her as a mentor because she was there when I first started my journey. And when this all happened, I thought, oh, I'm just going to, get a little Barbie doll that represents her. I'm going to wrap it up in some black cloth and then wrap it up in foil paper with the shiny part on the inside. And then I'm going to put it in a box and I'm just going to put it away somewhere, maybe bury it somewhere or put it in a really dark place that is out of sight, out of mind. To me, I thought that's innocent. Focus on wrapping her mouth so she shut her mouth and stop sending me all this energy that wasn't of highest light and love. I truly didn't see anything wrong with that, right? And Spirit said, nope, don't do that. This is what you do, right? So by me receiving from Spirit what not to do, I don't know why Spirit told me not to do that. I don't know, right? But oftentimes we'll have things that come to us that are memories from a past life. And I'm a firm believer that in order for us to embrace our high vibe self, we had to have had a moment where we embraced our low vibe self, right? We had to have a moment, whether it's in this lifetime or past lifetimes. So oftentimes things may come to us that may be from when we were living in that low vibe frequency, right? And we have this memory and we think, oh, this is great. This is good. Let's do it. But Spirit will say, no, here's something to do that matches your frequency of highest light and love, but will still get the job done. So as I'm saying that, what Spirit is saying, the message on that is, number one, to check in with Spirit on everything, right? Everything. And number two, to trust that you will be guided, right? And to do what you're guided to do. That felt really random, real random, but let's go ahead and see what you all are saying. My mom said love stood out to me. Awesome. And love is the highest frequency there is. So out of all that breaking down that I did, all in all, our soul is love, right? Our soul is love. That's who we are on a true, authentic love. We are love, right? We are love. So Camilla said, I see hands covering her third eye, which is kind of how I'm feeling. Yes. I'm being told to ask you, how do you release those hands, right? How do you release those hands, or how do you utilize those hands to serve you? And as that's coming through, I believe I gave this exercise to you before. I don't know. I do know. But it's time to start doing it consistently. I heard again, and then I heard consistently is coming through. Like when you did it, it was literally like right after, and maybe a little bit, but then it stopped. Remember the exercise of massaging your third eye, right? Massaging your third eye. And as I'm receiving that, what's coming through is those things that seem to bind us or blind us can also be used for our benefit, right? So taking those hands and massaging that third eye, allowing you to strengthen that connection, right? Strengthen that connection. So let's see. Alexa said the ball she's holding nurture my solar plexus. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Yes, build the strength of your solar plexus. And I'm being told to specifically tell you to stop agreeing to things that insult your soul. Stop agreeing to things that don't feel good. You have the right to say no. Saying no does not make you any less kind. And you have the right to go against the grain when everyone else is saying no and you feel yes. You have that right to do that. In fact, it's your duty to do that. It's your duty to do that. You have a duty to no one but self, right? So it's your duty. Let's see. Naya said crown chakra activating enlightenment. Yes, 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 yes. And you've been doing that. So continue to do that. And what I'm being told to tell you is to stop being afraid of your gifts coming fully through, because there's still some fear there. You've been doing a great job allowing it to be activated, but you still have barriers up. So it's time to release those barriers. Naya said, when your thoughts aren't creating your reality, would that be divine intervention? When your thoughts aren't creating your reality, would that be divine intervention? So, okay, first of all, I'm being told to tell you everything is divine intervention, right? But when your thoughts aren't creating your reality, there's a few reasons. The one most common reason is because you aren't ready for it, right? There's still some work to do for you to be prepared to receive what you're choosing to receive. Also, what could be happening is you're missing some components that are involved with manifesting and creating your reality, right? There's so many aspects. Like, for instance, right? One of the things that I'm really big on is lack language versus abundance language. So everybody has watched The Secret, right? Everybody has that small glimpse of what it is to manifest and to create our reality. But there's also the frequency, the energy, right, that we project. And our words are very powerful. So whereas some people may be visualizing, some people may be feeling, right, engaging in all of those things, but they may still be speaking lack language. They may be saying, I need to get up at 5 a.m., not even realizing that by saying I need, it's counteracting all that good old manifesting work they've been doing, because they're declaring words cast spells, words sends a vibration. So the universe is receiving, I need. So now you're just going to get a response of more need, which does not align with what you're manifesting, what you're visualizing, what reality, your thoughts, right? Because not only do our conscious thoughts, beliefs create our reality, but also those unconscious thoughts and those frequencies that we emit without thought. Right? So what frequency is coming from you without thought? Focus on that. Focus on that. What frequencies are coming from you that just come without thought? We've been programmed to speak lack so long that a lot of times we don't even realize we're doing it, and we really don't know how much power it has and how it's hindering the manifestation. So let's see. Pat said, interesting. I've been hearing magic a lot lately, internally and externally. Yes, yes, yes. Oh, thank you so much, Nicoya. You know I'm a reflection of you, and we are a reflection of each other. I appreciate you. Let's see. Alexa said, thank you. Alata said, Shanessa, you made it. Awesome. Thank you for inviting Shanessa. Welcome to our community, our soul community. Oh, you are so welcome, Naya. So welcome. Ooh, okay, you guys, look at this. So we have this last card. And then let me know if anyone would like to do a mini read. They're $25. We're going to go into the mini readings after that. Let me go ahead and share the link, the Cashapp, before I go into this card. And please know there's no pressure, there's no obligation to purchase a reading, ASHWORTH. Sometimes I can't walk and chew bubblegum at the same time, but there's no pressure to do that. Whether you're going to get a mini read or not, I recommend, if you have the time, to stay on, because a lot of times the message will resonate with you, and Spirit is always delivering messages in between the readings for us as a collective. So Kimia, you said you already paid, so that means that you will be first. And the reason why I am asking you all to let me know if you're going to do a reading today is because we are going to end Empower Hour right at about 6:45, right at about 6:45, because I actually have a date. So, and it starts at a certain time. So we're going to end it right at 6:45. So if you're doing a reading and it's something you like to do, go ahead and send your payment now. So that way we'll be able to do your reading. And I'm just checking in with spirits to ask, how many readings are we doing today? Okay, we're not going to do more than 8 today, okay? So we have the Find Your Motivation, and this number 11, right? So as look at that, and it's 8 people still on, and there are 8 of you who gave a thumbs up. So the 1 and the 1, the 8 and the 8, there have been a lot of messages that have come through in numbers lately where it has been mirroring, right? And so before we go into the Find Your Motivation, what I'm being told to tell you is to ask your soul, why is the message of mirroring coming through for you? Because it's going to be different for everyone, right? Why is the message of mirroring coming up for you? Why is that? And you can leave it in the comments, or you can just reflect on it in your own time. But I'm being told to remind you that the 1111 is letting you know of this immense opportunity, this gateway that is open for you to share your fears, to share your hopes, to share your dreams, to share what you're reluctant about and why, right? Sometimes you may not even know why, right? But what Spirit is saying is now is the time for you to communicate with Spirit deeper than ever before. Now is the time for you to commit to releasing what no longer serves you. And it's coming through like you don't have to be a person that is fearless, right? To commit to releasing fear, right? We've talked about this. In fact, the way that you become fearless is by stepping in fear, right? Step in the fear. Whatever you're afraid of, step right smack dab in the middle of that fear. Breathe, release it, right? And do it anyway. When I am afraid, I am constantly repeating, Spirit's got my back, Spirit's got my back, Spirit's got my back, Spirit's got my back. Constantly repeating that. Spirit's got my back, Spirit's got my back, right? Constantly repeating that. Because it reminds me that I'm not alone, that there is no way that I am going to fail at anything. There is no way that a force is going to come through that is stronger than me and my free will, because Spirit is protecting me. And there's nothing stronger than light. Nothing. No matter how it's packaged or presented to you, don't believe the hype. There is nothing that is stronger than light. And when you allow Spirit, when you activate that free will to allow Spirit to protect you, to guide you, there is nothing that is going to stop you but you, right? So that was the message that was coming through. Now let's get to the card. Find your motivation. You're being told to speak your truth, right? Speak your truth to yourself. Ask your soul, what are you motivated to do? What do you enjoy? How are you choosing to experience this lifetime, right? What brings you joy? What elevates your peace? What elevates your frequency? If you are getting up every day, going to a job that you don't like, or operating a business that you don't like, if you get up every morning and it's like, oh, shoot, this alarm went off, and I got to do this again, right? Not the, oh, shoot, the alarm goes off and I'd like to sleep some more. That's different. But if you're dreading whatever it is that you're doing, I don't care how much money it is producing. I don't care how many connections it is building. It is time for you to begin your escape plan, right? Because you're living in a jail, right? An emotional jail, an energetic jail, right? A mental jail. And it is harming you and preventing you from elevating to your full potential, your full capacity, right? Your full ability. So you're being called to connect with your soul and find out, what is my passion? And when you believe that spirit is all capable, right? All capable, capable of all things, it doesn't matter if your passion is juggling apples and oranges. If you're choosing that, if that is your passion, but you're also like, but yeah, juggling apples and oranges is only going to bring in X amount of money, but I'm choosing to live with this amount, release that belief that you are not able to live your passion, which is your purpose, and receive the level of abundance that you desire and deserve. Remember, money is an energy, right? Energy is not created by what you do or don't do. Energy is created by what you think and believe, and by what actions you take, right? Money is just an energy. It is just an energy. It is no different than all the other energies that you experience. Money is only different because you believe it is. Money is only different because you give it the power to be different, right? If I can attract the energy of love in abundance, I can attract the energy of money in abundance too, right? So that's the message that's coming through. And I'm also, again, being told to tell you to speak your truth to yourself. Because sometimes we will deceive ourselves before we deceive another person. We will deceive ourselves. Most often, we are deceiving ourselves, and Spirit is saying, stop it. Be real with yourself. Speak your truth. Spelt. Okay. Spelt. Some of you may be called to replace your flower with spelt flower. Also, the kid came through before. What was that all about? Kid. That did come through, and you didn't tell me if that was just word fart or if it was a message. It was a message. So what is the message? Okay, so I'm hearing back to the kid again, and it's coming through like that R. Kelly song, Back to the Hood Again. Back to the kid again. So there's multiple messages coming through for that. Number one, the first one that came through was that children are some of the greatest teachers. Oftentimes we are so busy attempting to mold them and teach them that we don't really realize that children are a blessing, right? I remember back in the day when parenting was super hard, and I would be like, okay, remind me where the gift is in this again. Literally, I would really ask that question because it did not feel like a gift. But that's because I was doing it all wrong. You know, nothing's ever wrong, right? But I was doing it all in lesson phase. The blessing of children is that if we can just sit back and allow them to be ourselves, and we can absorb and observe them as opposed to attempting to mold them, we'll learn a whole lot from them. We'll learn how to be fearless. We'll learn how to be resilient. We'll learn how to give pure, unconditional love. We'll learn how to be in self-acceptance, love, and compassion, right? We'll learn how to enjoy life, right? We'll learn how to show gratitude for the simplest of things. Look at how happy a baby is when you just come and say goo goo gaga, right? So Spirit is telling us to allow those children in our lives to be our guides, right? Doesn't matter how old they get either. It's great if we can start doing this when they're at birth on up, but wherever you are, start there. Also, you know, this is one of our forever messages. It talks about our inner child, right? Talks about our inner child. The assignment we just did in the Soul Family, the Activating You mentorship, is to write a letter to your younger self when you were in your most traumatic state, right? Write a letter from your current self. And now the second part of that was to have your future self write a letter to your current self, right? I'm sharing this because this may be something you choose to do. And then there's a part 3 that's coming too. I'm excited for that part. But yeah, that's the message that's coming through. That's what I'm receiving. So let's see what you all are saying. Hey, Shay, welcome. Thank you so much. Thank you. Awesome. Awesome, Pat. Thank you. So let's see. I missed some things. Ooh, I missed a whole lot of things. Oh, thank you, Nicoya. Nicoya said, I highly recommend a mini reading. Naya said, do you have Cash App too? I don't know if you're talking to me or Nicoya, but we both do, to answer your question. Yes. Alexa said, oh, snap, about to pay now. Awesome. Awesome. Pat said, I'd like a reading, sending PayPal. If you use PayPal, please select friends and family, because if you don't, it'll charge a fee. And because the mini readings are so low, it's better to select friends and family. Thank you, Alexa. A general, awesome. Shay said, I just got on and I'm already getting downloads. Thank you. I'm so grateful. And you are so welcome. And welcome, welcome, welcome. Cheryl said, it probably means for me to do some mirror work. Yes, yes, yes. And cancel delete probably. And just, it means for me to do some mirror work. See, we use language, right? So that probably indicates that I don't really trust what I'm receiving, even if that's not what we're consciously saying, right? But that's what our unconscious is hearing. And that's the frequency that we're sending out. It's things like that that we're not even aware of, but we're creating a reality, right? Probably means, right? So yeah, start canceling, deleting those types of words, in addition to the list of lack language versus abundance language words that I've shared, you know? Let's see. Alexa said, I was recently led to do some mirror work. Awesome. Awesome. Shay said, you are reading me. So grateful. The mini readings are 25, and I will share the Cash App. If you don't see it in the chat, let me know. Yes, yes. Nicoya says, so true about job, mental jail. It is. It is. You deserve to enjoy your life. If no one's told you lately, and if you haven't told yourself, you deserve to enjoy your life. As a matter of fact, it's how you were designed. If you're not enjoying life or what you're doing for a living, guess what? You're not aligned. You're not aligned with your soul. But the good thing about that is you can change that. You can change that. It's so amazing that when you begin to shift yourself and heal yourself, how different life shows up for you. Let's say that again. How different life shows up for you. Oftentimes we live from that victim mentality. Things just happen. The cards we were dealt, even our trauma was chosen by our soul, right? We chose that before we got here. You're always in control. You're always in the power seat. Just remember, right? Just remember. So let's see. Awesome. Thank you, Shay. So let's see. Naya said, I just went through a smear campaign by someone who I thought was a friend. Does Spirit have a message for me about healing or whatever Spirit has for me? So hold on to that. Is that your question for your mini reading? If so, hold on to it, because I'm going to go in order that you all paid. That'll be the order that I go in. So thank you so much. Thank you so much. Awesome. I will. I'm going to check it in just a second. Let's see. Yes, I knew what you meant, Nicoya. Thank you. Okay, you're running errands. General. Okay, about career. Okay, awesome. Thank you. You are so welcome, Cheryl. So welcome. And see, it's just, we don't even, 617. Some of you may be led to look up 617, okay, that angel number. We don't even realize, right? We don't even realize, we just say it, right? This is how we were taught to speak. But everything that we've been taught, Spirit always says, consider the source. Remember, that's the forever, consider the source. Who taught us to speak this way, right? Who taught us to speak this way? When we think in terms of duality, which is also what those mirroring numbers represent, and we think in terms of how, you know how they say God is the planner, the best of all planners? Well, what we're to understand is when we think in terms of God or the divine, what is the dual version of that, right? And so if God, the divine source, Allah, whatever you call your highest source of power, has the ability to be the planner of all planners, then so does the dual version of that, right? So when we think in terms of the source that has been teaching us in this human state from birth, that has been programming us, does not have our highest good in mind, right? That is not the purpose. right? So when you consider the source, it's about questioning everything you've been taught. And when I say question, I don't mean the overthinking kind of way. I don't mean the conspiracy theorist type of way. I mean connecting with spirit and asking the question and trusting that you will get the answer. And when you get the answer, know, right, that it is true. And when you make those requests before you start, you call on highest light and love, right? I am requesting the answer to this question that is rooted in highest light, love, and truth, right? And truth. Okay, so let me go ahead and check the order. Let's see. So Camille was first. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So far there are 5 of you. So we have time for 6. No, there's 6 of you. Pat, you're one of them. Time for 2 more. Okay. So the order is Kimia, Alexa, Naya, Nicoya, Shay, and Pat. Okay. Let's see. So I believe someone must have asked what spelt was, because I see where my mom says spelt is a grain that improves heart health. It helps your iron, magnesium, and zinc. And mom, will you let them know, like when it came through spelt flour, some of the things that they can use spelt flour for? Will you share that? Okay. So Kimia, so notice today I didn't bring my sage, so I'm energetically disconnecting from where we were so that I'm able to connect to Kamia's energy, because I'm going to do her reading now. So Kamia, will you let me know if you're doing a general or if you have a question? Let me know. Let me know. Today my hair came out pretty funky and I like it. I got my antennas up. I'm giving alien-esque today. Alien chic. Antennas are up. You guys know we couldn't go on Empower Hour without me being my silly self, right? If you thought that we were going to go, we almost made it. But if you thought we were going to have an Empower Hour without my silly coming through, who are we kidding? It comes through all the time. Shoot. Let's see. Let's get this out of the way. Okay. What does Spirit want me to know for this month? So I would cancel want, and I would word that as what serves my highest good for me to know from Spirit this month. Okay. So let's go ahead and put that in that abundant energy, that abundant frequency. So what serves Kamia's highest good to know from Spirit this month? So the first thing that just came through was to tell you, you are on track even when you're not. And what that means is, even when you feel like you're slipping, even when you feel like you're dropping the ball, like when we were talking about that exercise, right? And what I'm being told to tell you is, when you receive from Spirit, like something like an exercise, continue to do it until you receive from Spirit that you can stop doing it, right? Get from Spirit the frequency of doing it, right? And just really allow yourself to go into that energy of being guided, right? And if you're feeling like, okay, I've been doing this, is it time to stop? Just ask and Spirit will tell you. But you are on track even when you're not. Spirit is telling you to stop being so hard on yourself. Again, as we talk about that overthinking, I'm receiving that is definitely something that you do. And it's mostly the overthinking that pertains to your path. Am I living up to my full potential? Am I on the right track? Am I doing this right? Right? I'm even hearing, am I manifesting or elevating? And you may not use those words, but it's coming through. Those are the words that I'm being given based on the energy that I'm feeling, right? Okay, I'm being told to tell you it's time for you to start dancing with life and stop running from it. So when you think in terms of a dance, right? Think in terms of having a dance partner, right? There is an ebb and flow, right? Everything is in flow. The motion is, I'm hearing smooth, and they're kind of laughing because not everyone is dancing in a smooth way, but we're visualizing a dance partnership that is, right? There's no thought, there's just movement. And so the reason the dancing is coming through is because someone takes the lead. In this case, for you, it's spirit. There's no thought, there's just movement. So what I'm being told to tell you is when you're being guided by spirit, don't think about it, just move. And this is a message that we can all take on and incorporate in our lives. There's no thought, just movement, right? There's no thought, just movement, right? Being guided and taking action. Now, as that is coming through, spirit is telling me to tell you to release the noise of the naysayers. And those naysayers aren't necessarily just coming out as people that are verbally expressing their opinions or not agreeing with your path. It's an energy, right? It's an energy. Because you're sensitive, you feel energy, and sometimes you're not even aware of what the energy is that you're feeling, right? It's like, you don't know the name of the energy, but you feel the effect of the energy, right? So whether it's judgment, you may not feel it as judgment, but you feel the effects of what being judged makes you feel like, right? A lot of your life is being led by the collective. So I'm being told to tell you it's time for you to disconnect. It's time for you to cleanse. It's time for you to do a reset. And it's coming through as a sacred bath. That would be very powerful for you. Also, tap into this 555 portal today and allow yourself to release. Like, what are you choosing to release that is hindering you, right? The thing that comes up first when I say that, focus on that with the intention of also releasing the things that you aren't consciously aware of. This is literally your time to shine. It's literally your time to allow your divinity to be in the forefront. Don't be afraid of who you are. Don't be afraid to show the world what you represent. Allow yourself to be in flow. So let me pull a card for you. And Spirit said, look on the bottom and look. Master the dance. You may also look up 44. There we go with that mirroring number again. But look at that. Master the dance. Can't make it up. But I'm also being told to. Which one? That one or the one in my hand? Okay. I was told that one and the one in your hand. Up. Okay. First of all, this one came in reverse. I don't even know what it says. I haven't read it. And look, you got master the dance again. So Spirit is really, really putting emphasis on that. Also, the number 8, 4 and 4 is 8. You're an infinite being. Adorn the temple. Adorn the temple. Okay, so this came in reverse. And as I read adorn the temple, those of you that show up every Wednesday, did any of you notice that I didn't say the ear chakra? I said your temple. Feel the energy extend out to your temple, right? I noticed it. Nothing's a mistake, right? So as this relates to your reading, Camille, what Spirit is saying is anoint. I'm being told to tell you to get some oil, bless it, call on your divine spirit team, bless the oil, send that energy, and literally rub it, massage your temples, right? Your ear chakras, because although you may not be hearing, right? You may not be hearing in the physical world naysayers or doubters, right? But energetically you are. And it's still it's processing as though you were hearing people putting you down, people not believing you and sharing their opinions, right? So what Spirit is saying is for you to massage your temples, anoint your temples with blessed oil, and also you may choose to get some crystals. Nicoya is a great source. Black obsidian. On IG, it's Koya's Crystals, Coyas. But anyways, you may choose to get some crystals that will help you clear the clutter, right? Part of that overthinking, and I'm receiving, it's almost coming through like mind chatter. It's not just your thoughts or beliefs, it's your gift, right? Your gift. Being able to energetically pick up on others' energy, others' thoughts, others' feelings, right? So you're feeling it. You're feeling it. So some of that clutter in your mind is not all yours, and Spirit is saying release that, and these are some ways to release it. Also look up the peacock and what it represents, specifically their feathers. Oh, that's pretty cool, because I didn't even notice that. There's like a lamp with oil in it. I didn't even see that when Spirit said that. Some blue kyanite would be actually really good for you. Blue kyanite. along with other crystals that are blue. Also, what I'm being told to tell you is you may also get a few seashells, right? And actually go to the water and collect them. But putting them on your chakras as you're laying and meditating is going to be helpful for you. And also, look, you have, again, the blue, the color blue. So it's coming through very strong to speak your truth. And also respect your journey of life. Respect your journey of life, the path that you've taken thus far. Show love and gratitude for your path. And I'm just being told to tell you don't expect to be what you're not. But that's coming through like you have all these expectations for who you are or who you are going to be, who you're choosing to be, right? And so what's happening is you're not giving yourself an opportunity to be who you are in the now. And so just like we had that message come through before, just like we're called to be in the present, you're called to presently be grateful for who you are today, right? Because today you're creating lessons for who you will be tomorrow, right? And it's very valuable. In order for you to get to that future state, it's important to have this experience. So Spirit is saying just be in flow, right? Be in flow with who you are today and also open your soul to receive that divine guidance. It's coming through really strong for you to not only receive the guidance, but to trust the guidance, okay? That is your message. Thank you so much for allowing me to serve you. And let me see how it resonates. I'm just going to read your comments. Are you after Alexa? Okay. I didn't know because I didn't see when you sent your payment. So let me see. So if you are after Alexa, you will be after Alexa. So it is now Alexa, Pat, Naya, Nicoya, and then Shay. Okay. Thank you, Pat. Okay. And then we're going to be done. We're going to be done. So I'm going to cut it off there. Okay. But I do offer readings, 30 minutes and hour readings. And you can click the link in the bio if you like to schedule a reading where you and I meet face to face for 30 minutes or an hour via Zoom. Okay. Alata said, wow, Kimmy. Oh, thank you, Alata. My mom said you spelt flour for recipes that call for white flour. Awesome. Thank you, Mom. Okay. So who did I say was next, you guys? Alexa. So I'm going to disconnect from Kimmy's energy and I'm going to connect to Alexa's energy. And Alexa, you said a general, right? Oh, Kimia said, thank you so much for the reading. Dead on. You are so welcome. Thank you for allowing me to serve you. Thank you. So what message do you have for Alexa today, Spirit? What message do you have for Alexa today, Spirit? Do 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 do. Okay, you guys. I forgot you were watching. Yes, a general. Okay. Okay. Oh, okay. So instantly, I'm receiving that you are being called to spend more time focused on your self care and your healing. And as I was connecting, I started to feel it's a midway point between dizzy and exhausted. So, what I'm being told to tell you is to delegate some of the things that you're doing. Also, I'm being told to tell you to allow your husband to assist with the baby more. And it's not coming through that your husband's not assisting. It's coming through more as you're not always speaking up when you could use more assistance, right? And it's coming through like, oh, he works a lot. That self-sacrificial lamb is how it's coming through. And Spirit is telling you it's okay. He would love to be able to serve more, deeper, to assist you with making sure that you're okay. What's going on with that? that. It's not a headache, but it's pressure. Take the pressure off of yourself to be perfect, is what I'm being told to tell you. And again, this too is coming through as how it relates to being a parent. You are a perfect parent. You are. You're guiding your child in a direction in a way that does serve them. However, you are being called to actually observe more, right? Learn more. And as that's coming through, what Spirit is saying, also think in terms of when babies cry, right? When babies cry, they're crying because there is something that they would like to have fulfilled, right? They don't care if you're sleeping. Nope, they don't care. Mommy and daddy sleep. Oh, well, I'm hungry. They don't care. They don't care if you're driving. Oh, mommy, daddy driving. I'm wet, right? And so this is a lesson to learn from them when it comes to something that you're choosing for yourself. Don't sacrifice what serves your soul for others. Speak up and be vocal, right? What else is coming through for Alexa? You're a teacher. Spirit just said you're a teacher in your divine right. You're a teacher in your divine right. Not necessarily a school teacher, although that is a teacher and that serves a purpose. But you're being called to start teaching others the way of the world, the way of the land. What does that mean? I just heard agriculture. And that's in addition to the way of the world. So as you continue to allow yourself to get deeper connected with Spirit and you start to receive more and more downloads, right? More truths, right? You're going to teach people those truths, right? YouTube channel comes up for everybody because listen, if you aren't being called to become a life coach or a mentor, right? That's not the only way that you can teach and serve the collective. Teaching, right? Teaching, because most people don't relate to, we're not teaching them anything. We're helping them remember. So there's that energy of meeting people where they are. So you'll notice the Spirit will use words interchangeably. And for some, Alexa, for you, what's coming through is YouTube would be great for you to begin teaching in agriculture. I'm really, really excited to know when I don't read the comments while I'm doing the readings because I like to just flow. And so I'm excited to know what you say about that part of the message. I have a feeling it resonates, that part of the message. Okay, what else is for Alexa? Date night. More dates are important. Again, delegating is important. Calling on other family members. Be guided, right, on who you can trust. Not an outside sitter. I'm specifically being told to tell you, not an outside sitter. Select a couple of family members that you're guided to trust. And I'm hearing enjoy and explore life more by yourself and with your spouse. And I'm being told to tell you to plan a date in nature. Hiking is coming through, but not a real intense hike, but one that gets the blood pumping and the heart rate up. And have a nice little picnic at the top of whatever hill that you hike. I'm seeing like just a beautiful view, flowers, green, grass, that Mount Rainier is what I'm hearing. It's also time for you to get more sleep. This is one of the times that you can trade off with shifts, right? I'm hearing playtime, right? It's coming through more like sometimes your baby likes to play. It's not coming through like a lot of crying. It's just more playtime, right? I'm not necessarily crying because I'm hungry or I'm upset. I just would like to play. I'm bored because they have the same emotions and feelings as us. Mental stimulation. I'm being told to tell you to begin looking into more ways to mentally stimulate your child. Your child is very gifted academically. And so making sure that your child is stimulated is important. And that's something that you'll carry over as your child develops and just remembering that they're gifted, and oftentimes gifted children get bored. I'm hearing special programs. I just was told she'll know what that is. And I just heard again, you're doing great. Stop doubting your parenting skills. Even if your example wasn't the greatest, you know what not to do. And you also know what you're choosing to do. Allow spirit to guide you, right? Allow spirit to guide you. And as I'm saying that, I'm being told to share something with you. So you all know, surprise, I'm vegan, but my son and my twin flame are not. So I cook regular food for them. And because I can't taste it, I don't know what it's tasting like. So I just let spirit guide me. Like spirit will guide me on how much to put in, what seasons to use, how long to, you know what I mean? Like, yeah. So just allow spirit to be your guide. Take the guesswork out. Okay. Now I'm being told to pull a card for you. Make mistakes. And you have 19. And here we go with that 10 again. And look at this card. Look at this card. What's the message here with the make mistakes? I heard it's all about perspective. It's all about perspective, right? So, okay, so when I look at this card, what I'm being told to tell you is when you look at that cliff or that edge, right? It may appear to be, we're going to stretch on this one, a mistake, right? Where's the rest of the rock? Why does this drop down like that? That's dangerous. Or you can look at it like, this is a perfect lookout, right? It's a perfect lookout to have a beautiful view of what's out there. And it's a perfect way to get my adrenaline pumping because to look down, ooh, what does that do for my heart rate? What does that do for my adrenaline, right? So Spirit is saying it's all about perspective, changing your perspective, right? Changing your perspective. And also that duality is coming in as well, night and day, night and day. So what's the message? Why am I receiving night and day? And I'm going to show you where that came from. You have what looks to be night here and what looks to be day there. So what is that? Night and day. Understanding that there's value and purpose in both. And when you find yourself looking at things like, oh gosh, a mistake, find out what's the purpose, what's the value, why did I experience that, why did I attract that, why did I call on that, what is it showing me, what is it teaching me? And then Spirit said, that is it. So that is your message, Alexa. Thank you so much for allowing me to serve you. Please let me know how it resonated. Let's see what you all were saying. Alexa said 333 here. Awesome. I've been seeing that number a lot. Your angels and guides, the ascended masters are letting you know they are near. Hi, Ty. Welcome. Let's see. We are on. Pat is next. Pat is next. And then I believe you are after Pat. Let's see. No, it's Pat, Naya, Nicoya, and Shay. I had announced, Alatha, that we were stopping after Pat because of the timing. And because we only do Empower Hour once a month, you can let me know if you like to save it for Tahir for next month, or if you'd like me to refund it, because I will do that too. Pat is actually the last one. Alexa said, thanks so much, Nahkila. I have been feeling led to share my health food journey on YouTube. All of this resonated deeply. I'm so grateful. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Okay, so I'm disconnecting from Alexa's energy, and I am now connecting to Pat. Pat, did you have a general or did you have a question? I'm hearing general. Is that what you asked for? Spirit said yes. Let me know. Okay, I'm gonna pull a card for you. I'm being told to pull a card for Pat. What message? Okay, all these. Okay, Spirit said yes. Sometimes when a lot of cards fall, Spirit will say no, but okay, so you have noticed the pattern. You have flow with divine timing. You have surrender and trust. Pat, we can't make it up. You have retreat and recharge. Okay, listen, I'm putting these two together. And did you notice how they came together? Oh, I can't make it up. I can't make it up. I can't make it up. That is exactly what it says it is. And then you have slow down. Okay, so, okay, awesome. Spirit said, yeah, it was your general. Okay, so notice the patterns. Instantly when I picked up that card, what Spirit is saying, the patterns within yourself, right? So what I'm receiving is, when things are challenging, right? And things as is when you're being challenged by Spirit, when Spirit is pushing you outside of your comfort zone, what is, I'm hearing your normal and instinctual behavior. And that includes your thoughts, right? And instinctual is coming through like, that's how quick you do it, right? That's how you do it. Not necessarily your instincts as in your gut or your intuition or spirit guiding you. Not necessarily that, right? But what is your pattern? Spirit is telling you to begin observing yourself even deeper, right? Because through self-observation, what is going to happen is it is going to connect you even deeper with the divine, specifically your divine self. And the more connected you are to your divine self, the easier it becomes to surrender, trust, and step out on faith, right? Now, you've been doing an excellent job at your surrender, right? You have improved that by leaps and bounds. And Spirit is saying, this is your next level, right? This is your next level. Which one? Okay. So when you get to this one, the flow with divine timing, what Spirit is telling me to tell you, and 29 is 11. What Spirit is telling me to tell you is this. Divine timing, when Spirit tells you to do something, is right then and there. I don't care if you're in the middle of working and Spirit says rest. You got to be like, you know what? I got to go rest because Spirit said, right? And you're going to find that Spirit is going to put you in what feels to be challenging situations because of the fact that you are being, I'm hearing processed. You're being processed, but it's coming through like, elevation. You're being elevated to your next level. So whatever is hindering you, Spirit is pushing you to get to a point where you move past it as a hindrance, right? So that is divine timing. You guys have heard me say, Pat, you've heard me say the immediate when Spirit guided me with the life coaching. So I'm feeling that you have been receiving some information on shifts to make within your business. And Spirit is saying it's not about doing that next year. It's not about doing that next month. It's about doing it now, right? Divine timing is now. When Spirit gives you something, Spirit is saying, do it now, right? Unless Spirit says, do this, but not right now, right? I'm just prepping you so you can get yourself ready, right? So if there's a question about the divine timing, simply ask, right? Simply ask and then be prepared to do what Spirit says to do in that answer. That is also a form of surrender. I'm being told to tell you also to sleep more during the day since you tend to find yourself being up at night. So what this is saying is for you to go with the flow of your body, right? If you're being called to take naps, and we were talking about that duality, look at that. And also in terms of when we think of the night sky and the daylight sky, for whatever reason, it's feeling like the daylight sky is typically at the top and the night sky is typically at the bottom. But the reason it's feeling like that is because I'm being called to deliver this message to you. Sometimes what you feel is meant to be up. In that moment, Spirit may be guiding you to have it be down so that you can learn the lessons involved with things being topsy-turvy. But what you're called to do in those moments when things feel topsy-turvy is to flow, right? To flow with it, right? To flow with it. Now, with this slowdown card, you have been receiving this message a lot. You've been receiving that message in regards to resting more, slowing down, right? Too much of a good thing is no longer a good thing. So allow yourself the space and time to process all of the things that you're learning, all the things that you're gathering, and to utilize and implement them. Don't go in a place of brain overload, is what Spirit is saying, right? Slow down, rest, process, right? It's not saying stop. It's just saying give yourself an opportunity to breathe, to slow down, to process, to rest. Also, look up what the snail represents, right? Look up what the snail represents. Okay, look at that. You are covered in protection. See that rainbow, but also look at how she has her hands in the mudra. So what you're being called to do is to allow yourself to connect more with spirit through your meditation. Pay attention to what you're receiving so that you can utilize that as your guidance. That is your ZPS, your GPS. But why did I receive ZPS? Why did that come out? Why did I say that? ZPS is an indication that if you allow spirit to guide you, you're going to be guided on all of your destinations from A to Z. Z being your final destination, which is what you're manifesting, right? But if you're not allowing spirit to guide you, what ends up happening is you're taking all these other routes that don't get you there. And I'm hearing, I'll take you there, playing in the background, right? All these other routes, you're repeating routes. You're going back to places that spirit said, there's no more lessons there. You've completed this. You're done with this, right? So be guided. Now, I know I don't even have to tell you what this is, the surrender and trust, retreat and recharge. So, but I'm being told to speak on it because Spirit is saying it's a lesson for others and it's also a nudge for you. So Pat has been guided to attend the 2021 Activating You Retreat, right? Which is where you're going to retreat and recharge. Surrender and trust, because spirit guided you to do so. The surrender and the trust is you securing your spot. Now, I know we talked about that. I know you were planning to do it, but spirit is saying if there was doubt, here's the confirmation once again. And as I'm saying that, if there was doubt, here's a confirmation once again. What spirit is saying is, as you receive messages, and if there is a question, right? And so what I'm being told is to take away the doubt and put it in the frequency of a question. Do not feel like you're, and this is coming through, even though we're in Pat's reading, this is coming through for all of us. Do not feel like you're undermining spirit in any way. That's that concept that we're not to question God. In fact, you question until you have absolute clarity, because with that clarity comes faith. Pat, this is moving into your message back for you. The reason why it's important to have absolute clarity is because through that clarity, you have absolute unwavering faith. Through that absolute unwavering faith, what you allow yourself to do is receive the desired outcome, right? Because spirit is always leading us to some goal reach, some prayer answered. But if you are acting without clarity, then that faith wavers. And with that wavered faith, you're not able to receive, attract, or allow the outcome that your soul agreed to, right? So it's important. And look at this. Oh, come through spirit. So look, we have the number 2 and we have the number 4. And what spirit is letting you know is that when you're being guided and you do what you're guided to do, you will double, at least double whatever it is, right? Whatever it is, you will double. And this isn't just pertaining to the retreat. Although, you know, there's been times I shared with y'all how when I went to see Lisa Nichols back when I first started my business, how I had an eviction notice on my door. My ex-husband called me and let me know there's an eviction notice. But because spirit told me to move and I knew money was so funny, it wasn't even a joke, right? I still did what spirit told me to do. And I am still reaping the benefits from that act of faith to this day. Still, right? Still. So in all things, not just the retreat, but in all things, when spirit guides you, when it feels outside of your comfort zone, and it may not even just be the energy of money, but whatever it is going to propel you right into an elevated state. So that multiplication indicates that elevation. And as it relates to money, we circulate, right? We're never getting back what we circulated. We're always receiving it multiplied by tenfold or more, right? So spirit is saying to connect to your soul, connect to your faith, connect to your beliefs. And if they aren't aligned with who and what you're choosing to be, align them. Allow spirit to guide you on how to do that. Everything is in divine timing is what I'm being told to tell you. And Spirit's bringing it back, even your sleep pattern. So follow your body. Anything else? Okay. So that is your message, Pat. Thank you so much for allowing me to serve you. I'm going to see what you said. Let's see. Ah. Okay. So, Ty, I don't believe that you heard the announcement that Shay is the last one today because of timing. I do have plans today. So Shay is actually the last one today. So you guys have the option to save that for next month's reading, or I can refund it to you. So let me know which you would prefer, okay? Pat said, wow, so much confirmation. Powerful. Pat said, exactly. That's so true. Awesome. So true. Money is currency. Yes, yes, yes. So thank you, thank you, thank you for allowing me to serve you. Let's see who's next. I believe Naya is next. Yes. I believe Naya is next. And Naya, you asked for a general, right? Disconnecting from Pat's energy and connecting to Naya's energy. Okay, so I went through a smear campaign by an ex-friend. Does spirit have? I'm being told to tell you to replace an ex-friend by a soul that came with a lesson for me. And as that was coming through, a soul that came bearing gifts, right? See, the reason why this is coming through for you is because oftentimes when we again, energy and frequency, when we think in terms of an ex-friend, that's painful, right? But if we think in terms of a soul that came bearing gifts, right? That soul came bearing gifts because there's lessons there, right? There's growth there, there's elevation there. So you can leave that soul right where it's at and you can go on about your merry little way with all them beautiful jewels you just connected with from that experience, right? It just puts you in a totally different frequency. So I went through a smear campaign by a soul that came bearing gifts. The spirit have insight or whatever spirit has for me. Thank you. Okay, so literally what spirit just said was the insight is that soul came bearing gifts. You're being called to do a total, I'm hearing a one-on-one, a total one-on-one. But what is coming through one-on-one, but it's coming through like a 360, right? A total circle, one-on-one, one-on-one. Soul lessons. Okay, so you're being called to totally shift your perspective. What I'm being told to tell you is that your soul is eager to teach you, but I'm hearing both you lack trust in your soul's ability to do so, and you doubt your soul's ability to do so. Lack trust and doubt came in together. And also what I'm being told to tell you is that soul that came bearing gifts also contributed to that doubt, right? So now that that soul has been released, now spirit is saying it's like when we think in terms of a balloon, but I'm saying a hot air balloon, and we think in terms of the string, with the bags, the sacks that keep it weighted down. But I'm also saying the strings on a regular balloon that has a little weight on it to keep it from floating all off everywhere, right? Being lost in the sky. Now that that weight has been released, now it's time for you to soar. It's time for you to elevate in your next phase. Why are you allowing yourself to be stuck? You get stuck in every level. Well, it's fear and doubt. So you can release that process that you currently experience, which is getting stuck in each level, by acknowledging that it's there, getting to the root cause of where it was created. And I'm hearing past life. Why was it created? Because you were a martyr. You sacrificed yourself for others. And you also had and have a tendency to make excuses for people, because people I'm hearing did not make excuses for you. That's the word that they're using, but it's coming through more as people lacked understanding and compassion for you. And this is something that you've been experiencing lifetime after lifetime. The first time your soul incarnated, you got stuck in the frequency of people don't understand me. People don't show compassion. People don't understand me is coming through again. People don't have understanding for me and my experiences. So now what's happening is you are showing up lacking those things for yourself. So you and your soul are actually showing up as a dual entity. Your soul is so highly intelligent. Your soul is so, I'm hearing well versed, able to communicate, able to connect with any and everybody on a level that their soul understands. But because you have now taken on the frequency of that very first experience in your very first incarnation, you are now hindering yourself from elevating at the rate that your soul is ready for. So the message that's coming through for you from spirit is it's time for you to heal that experience, right? You may feel led to schedule a session with Gillian. Her link's in the bio. Do a full-on energy clearing healing with Gillian, so that you can release the energy attached to that experience, right? You're holding on to that energy, and it's time for you to let it go, right? It's time for you to let it go. I'm hearing you are the only one that is holding you back. And then I'm like, okay, Spirit, what about the friend? And Spirit said the friend is irrelevant, right? The friend was just utilized to explain what was explained in the beginning, right? That friend, that soul that came bearing gifts, right? That's what it was for. It came bearing gifts. So find the lessons there. Evaluate the entire friendship. Where did you not show up? I'm hearing for self or authentically as yourself, right? Not that you were being fake to the friend. You're a great friend, right? You're a great friend. The word enabler is coming up. But even that's to a degree, because how great of a friend can you be when you're not following your soul, when you're not doing what feels good to your soul, right? So let it go, the friendship, show gratitude, and the pain from that very first experience. Okay. They said that's Naya's message. Tell her to go ahead and be great. And I also heard go forth and be great. So multiple guides. And what they're telling me is they're coming from different lifetimes. So the go forth and be great was that first experience, right? That first experience. But these are guys that were once walking the earth with you at that time that are now your guides. And then the other one was just, your general guide speaking, your ancestors speaking. Okay. So that is your message, Naya. Thank you so much for allowing me to serve you. Please let me know how it resonates. Okay, let's see. I'm going to show this message. For whatever reason, Nicoya, your message came through. It came through hidden. You know what? Spirit just guided me. Okay, so I have a question for you all. Okay, so Nicoya, Shay, and Tahira, you guys are next. And is there anyone on that would like to get a reading but does not have the money to pay for a reading? Is there anyone else? Let me know, because you guys, I would like to make sure that I give you all that you deserve to receive. And because, like I told you, I got a date and it starts at a certain time. I would like to know if those of you that I just named, if you would be willing to email me, whether you have a question or a general. And then what I'll do tomorrow is I'll get back on live and I'll give you your messages. I'll even timestamp them so it's easy for you to get to. Let me know if you all are okay with that. So that would be Nicoya. If you're okay with that, let me know. Shay, if you're okay with that, let me know. And Tahara, if you're okay with that, let me know. So Nicoya says, sure. Thank you so much. And I appreciate that. So if you can all, thank you so much, Shay. I appreciate it. And Tahara, let me know if you're okay with that as well. I mean, your mom sent your payment already. So, and I'm going to put the email here. So, okay. So it's Nahkila_Isha at aslifesculpting.com, and just put in the subject line reading. And then let me know if it's a general or if you have a question. And if you have a question, put the question in the subject line. It's funny because my twin was like, you're not going to make it. You're not going to be. I was like, I'm going to make it. I'm going to make it. And yeah, because, we go long. And if there's anyone else that would like to join and get a reading tomorrow, I'll just go live and we'll just do readings. And of course, whatever messages come through for us as a collective, I'll deliver those too. Awesome. Thank you. Thank you. So who else was I waiting to let me know if you guys are okay with that? Okay. And I'm going to pull one more card for us as a collective. Also, the number 12, look that up, breaks down to 3. Look that up. Ha! And look, 3, fine tune. Fine tune. So one of the things that Spirit is having me tell us as a collective, when it comes to the messages that we receive, the guidance that we receive, Spirit is saying, make it clear that your work and your efforts and the energy that you've put in to get to where you are is not going unnoticed. In fact, I'm going to say it how they're saying it. We are extremely proud of you. Keep going. The messages that come through are here to guide you into your next level. We know she shared this before, but it's important for you to take that message into your soul. Divine timing is coming through, and what they're saying is divine timing. Everything is according to divine timing. If you do something now and later you feel I should have done it later or I should have done it before, release the should have and understand that it all happens according to divine timing. This is your path. This is your race. And when there's no one else on the track, you get to decide. You are the only one that exists in your world. They just said, when you remember that, you will get along and play well with others and their world. So Spirit is saying we're existing in our own world, our own bubbles, our own energy. And sometimes we have play dates where our worlds collide, right? But when we're not exercising self-love and we're not exercising flow and we are not allowing ourselves to be guided, what we're doing is, and the way they're showing me the worlds, it's a bubble, right? It's a bubble around each individual. What happens when we don't do those things, it's like we're going into another person's bubble. Now think about what happens when you see bubbles go into each other. Now sometimes that bubble will pop, right? And now the only bubble that's left is this one. So that's coming through as when you are attempting to fit a square peg into a round hole, which is you attempting to fit into the world of someone else, that world being what doesn't resonate with your soul. What you're doing is you're popping your world and you are now attempting to be a square peg in a round hole. Right? You do not resonate with the world of others. There may be aspects that resonate, right? Because we're reflections of one another, right? Also, when you see a bubble, there's a reflection. However, you're being called to enjoy those play dates, right? Learn from one another, learn from experiences when you're sharing worlds or experiencing worlds. But don't get so caught up that you forget to tend to your world, or you let your world go altogether. Does that make sense? Like, I know there's an easier way to give us this message, but they using these metaphors. So does that make sense? Spirit said, yes, it does. But you see what they're saying and where they're going with this, right? You are the only one that exists in your world, and your only and sole mission is to do what makes you happy, what makes you feel good, with harm to none. With harm to none. You're the mayor, you're the president, you're the teacher, you're the student, you're the husband, the wife, the sister, the brother, the mother, the father. You are all of that. And I just heard, create a way, create a way. So set your intention to manifest something. Allow it to manifest within the next 30 days. Just write it down, right? Write it down tonight with this portal. Write it down. I am so happy, grateful, and excited for, right? Claim it like it's yours, right? And then underneath that, I will allow this into my world on or before whatever 30 days from now is, okay? So that is the message. Woo, 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 woo. I don't know. You know I'm in flow. I'm not giving y'all time because I may lie, because I don't know how I'm going to feel tomorrow. Now, Wednesday Live and Power Hour is the same time every month. But what I will say is turn your notifications on. So then when I'm live, you'll get notified. But that's why I said I will timestamp it so that you're able to easily find your reading. Okay. And thank you guys for being so understanding. I'm excited about my date. I even put on a dress. I mean, I always wear dresses. I don't even know why I said that. I wear dresses all the time, but this is my first time wearing this dress, you know, even though it's, we've been having summer weather, but it's like mid 60s right now. And it's going to get cooler in the evening. So this is like the perfect weight to where I can wear it and be warm and not wear a coat. Okay, anyways, you guys, I love you so much for being you. And thank you for allowing me to serve you. Thank you for understanding. Let's see. Pat said, yes, I always use the square peg of the round hole analogy. Pat said, thank you, Spirit. And thanks for being available, sis. You are so welcome. Thank you. Oh, thank you so much, Nicoya. And thank you for inviting Shay. Welcome, Shay. Oh, you are so welcome, Goddess. Thank you, Shay. Thank you, you guys. Thank you. I know we haven't seen each other since before I went to California. So yay, I'm excited. That's the inner child play date, boy. I tell you, when we get together, yeah, we're never serious. Our inner child, our inner children be all out enjoying a play date. So yeah, but I love you so much for being you. I thank you. I'm going to grab my shoes and my purse, and I am about to go. So have a wonderful rest of your night, and I will be on live tomorrow for those of you that didn't get your reading today. And if you feel like a reading tomorrow and you weren't one from today, join us. Or if you just like the messages, join us, okay? Hi, Adrian. Thank you. Thank you so much. Okay, I'm going to go now, you guys, because I'm going to be late if I don't. All right, I'll talk to you tomorrow.